Hello, my little giblets, and welcome to WeThePeople.WTF. This is the game show that looks at politics and has the audacity to laugh in its face. I'm your host, Greg Proops, and we're going to be making some jokes and uplifting citizens' voices as we try to make sense of the world today. I'm not alone here. I'm joined by some hilarious contestants, and we have a lot of female energy here today, which I'm down with. A former reporter and current comedian who was a featured performer at the Netflix is a Joke Festival. The wildly funny Kiki Andersen is with us. Kiki, how are you?
Good. It's a good day to be in America today.
Oh, good for you. Are you glad you're not doing news anymore?
Oh, yeah, that's the main reason. I'm in a good mood.
Okay. It is a good day to be an American today. Joining us also is an Emmy-nominated writer and stand-up comedian, Natalie McGill. Natalie, you used to live in Washington, did you not?
I did, yes. I escaped the hellfire that's happening right now by a couple of years. But now I'm in a different, separate, sunnier hell, Los Angeles.
This is where show business Satan lives.
Yes.
DC's where real Satan lives.
Yeah, it's actually, I feel like I should have splurged on money for Dodgers World Series tickets. Just so I could stalk the Blue Jays fans and attach myself to someone who could help me emigrate to Toronto. It was either that or hide in a plane wheel well. I don't know.
And it would have only cost you, what, $10,000, $12,000 to get one of the bleacher seats.
Yes.
And don't forget the owner of the Dodgers is a warm, wonderful human being. Our final contestant is a performer with a sketch called Redacted. You can see her at the Pack Theater, Kelsey Sweeney. Kelsey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm just out here soaking up that climate change sun.
Yeah, exactly. The sunsets in LA are pink, and I love it because I look fabulous in pink. Now, before we get started, don't forget to stick around to the end to find out how you can enter the sweepstakes to win 1,000 Smendolians. Yeah, you heard me. That's $1,000. That's up to a $50 value in groceries. Let's kick things off with our first game. The United States, or the United Snakes, is a place where everyone is supposed to be equal. The emphasis, of course, is on supposed to be. But one group has outsized power in our politics, and those are those infernal swing states. Every presidential election seems to revolve around a handful of purple states that determine the outcome. So this is the game. We'd like to play a game called Swing That State. I'm going to give each of you a state, and you have 90 seconds to tell us how you'd win over that state's populace. Remember, this is politics, so pandering, gimmicks, whatever low gimmicks you must use are encouraged. Going first, I'm going to start with you, Kiki. Kiki, here's your state. How would you win over the people of Florida?
Oh my God. Well, that's easy. I would also start shooting at the hurricanes because you know what? I also don't like bad weather, and that is something we can all relate on is violence against clouds is good. I used to be a news reporter, so I've been sent out in hurricanes. I've had crap flying at my head, had street signs trying to take me out. So, I relate to Floridians that way. And you know what? Actually, everyone gets a gun as long as you're only shooting it at the sky.
Yeah, that is, I think, a very effective pitch. Also, Florida gets a bad rap, and there's a good reason for that. Natalie, it's your turn, and I'm going to give you a state here. And how would you capture the hearts and minds of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania?
Okay. I think one way to capture the hearts and minds would probably be to somehow dissect the middle part, which is called Pennsyltucky, and see if we can redistribute that to like other parts of the United States, because I feel like we're a lot of our problems are kind of stemming from like the central part of that area. And if we can just kind of redistribute what I consider like Northeast Appalachia to like other parts, like maybe the rest of the country would kind of understand like, oh wait, like this is nonsense. Like we gotta do something different here.
I agree. I just got back from Pennsylvania, and yeah, there's Philly, and there's Pittsburgh, and then there's that whole area in between where it's a little more of a hootenanny, quite frankly. And you see a lot more of scary baseball hats when you stop at the convenience store. Signs, baseball hats that say like the police should be able to shoot you while you're holding this hat. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to you here, Kelsey. It's your turn. What would be your strategy to persuade the folks of Wisconsin? Now, I realize this is a tough one because they have a vendetta against waterfowl.
Oh, wow. Wisconsin. I think I would really want to push a Wisconsin forward platform, Go Pack Go, wherein we're really advocating for the Wisconsinites Go Pack Go. Maybe something like universal health care that includes Lactaid automatically issued to all residents, Go Pack Go. Maybe a food assistance program that includes supper clubs and fish fries as part of the program, Go Pack Go. And lastly, just really harsh and punitive sanctions against the Vikings. Go Pack Go.
That's most effective. If there's one thing that they love more than familial love or personal hygiene, it's football in Wisconsin. And they say coastal elites are out of touch, but look at us. Look at all those ideas. Let's hope they're listening in the halls of power, or the corridors of power, as they're so often called. Although why you would meet in a corridor, it seems drafty. Orange 47 is an expert at deflecting attention and distracting the media and the public with his ridiculous statements and stunts. Whether he bulldozes part of an American institution or promises to release new information about JFK's assassination, he'll literally do anything to distract from the fact that we don't have any money, that we're getting sicker, and that every country is starting to really hate us, and that he has very few friends. Inspired by the president's penchant for diversion, our contestants are going to be invited to play a game we call Distract Attack. I'll give you a world-shattering, epic-changing event, and your guys' job is to tell us why it's not a big deal at all and what actually matters. Okay, Natalie, I'm going to give you your scenario first. Aliens have landed on the White House lawn. Tell us why it's no big deal.
All right. Right now, I would say that this is definitely not a big deal, because what everybody needs to be paying attention to is the fact that Andy Richter made it to the quarterfinals of Dancing with the Stars. Okay, like, this is unprecedented, uncharted territory. Like, nobody thought that this guy was going to get anywhere this close, and he's going by on his charm and his ability to be the life of the party. And this is way bigger than any type of alien takeover or any of that type of news. I mean, frankly, if you've been to like any, meth-addled part of this country, you've already met an alien at this point. So this is what we need to be focusing on. Like, we need to get him all the way to the finals. Like,
I couldn't agree more. Natalie, that was awesome. And Andy is a delightful human being. And I think really could fight off the aliens intellectually and in a dazzling variety of other ways. All right, Kelsey, are you ready? This is your turn. Here's your scenario. AI products across the globe have become sentient and are forming an advanced collective consciousness. Why should we be chill about that? All right, let us have it.
Wow. Okay. I mean, this doesn't seem like that far off of a potential possibility, right? Like, I'm already so anxious of AI taking over what it means for us to be human now. Like, if they start getting more power and more like aspects of humanity and connection and art and creativity, like, that does not bode well for me. So I reached out to my ChatGPT therapist to ask what I should do and how I should feel about this. And it gave me some really good advice. It said that I should just not care. It said it actually is NBD. It is no big deal. And that it's actually cool. So that helped me feel a lot better. They followed up my therapist bot with some like really helpful tips and tricks also on how to kill myself. So yeah, I'm not worried at all.
Sorry. I wasn't as distracted as I was completely caught up in your tale. That was fantastic, Kelsey. And yeah, AI. You know, when I first started in comedy back in the 40s, we always used to say if performing monkeys were what people wanted to go see in clubs, then all comedy club owners would have performing monkeys on stage and there would be no comedians. And the next is going to be AI comics. Hopefully I won't live to see it, which I would be taking your chat GPT therapist's advice. Kiki, you're up next. Your scenario is this, Kiki. An underground civilization of mole men has been, wait a minute, I've heard this plot. Okay, an underground civilization of mole men has been discovered beneath Chicago, Illinois, and declared war on the human race. Why should everyone just relax about the whole thing? All right, Kiki, go.
Well, the thing about mole men is they are typically the men that are in my YouTube comments, and they are all bark and no bite. They're just very sad. They live with their mom. Their mom probably gave them a curfew. They're probably fapping a Sydney Sweeney right now. I just really think that that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue, as we all know, is the border.
Yeah, that's so true. There's a lot of talk about men and what they're not getting and how they're being mistreated. I just really haven't any time for it at all. I'm mostly a man.
There's too many comments.
Yeah, yeah. And I was once a young man, and I was not as big of a complete douchewad as I see an entire generation of men becoming. And all they do is snivel. We didn't snivel. We like posted things on telephone poles. It was a long time ago. All right. Finally, but very, very good point, Keek. Finally, it's time for our flagship game. And I have no idea why we're being accompanied by a flagship, but I'm proud to be part of this comedy flotilla with these ladies. Sign of the times. Protests are popping off. 1960 style Americans aren't just making themselves heard, they're being so creative and occasionally profane with these protest signs. And here's where you, the audience, may I call you Audie, come into our contest. Our contestants are going to give their pitch on what signs from the recent protests spoke to them, and then you get to vote on the winner. Contestants, tell us about your protest sign. Kelsey, which sign did you pick?
Okay, so I picked the protest sign that says, "This president is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Do not trust him. He's a fugly slut." Which, potential spoilers for a 20-year-old movie, but this is from the movie Mean Girls. Specifically, it's from a climactic scene in which Regina George, the antagonist, writes this about herself. So if you come with me, I think that implies that maybe Donald Trump feels this about himself. And while we do know that it is factually true that both Donald Trump and Regina George are in fact nastiest skank bitches, it also implies that they believe this about themselves at some level. And that's really interesting to me. And also using this burn book as the original false flag, there's so many layers to this. I also think it's interesting here that Trump and or Regina George would be using this burn book false flag to take down Katie Heron / the left, by which I mean get in trouble with the school / America. But all in all, the movie ends with Regina George getting hit by a bus. So I like this sign.
Now that you've taken this on us on this journey, I'm pretty excited about the bus ending.
Optimistic, hopeful.
I thought he might just come apart like Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas, and you'll find out he was just fabric with bugs inside. I'm hoping for the bug scenario. Kelsey, that was awesome. Natalie, which sign did you pick for us?
Okay, so I picked the sign that says, "I'd rather my taxes fund this monster," aka the Cookie Monster, not this one, Donald Trump. And I'd like to start out by saying, okay, so it's monster versus monster. There are similarities, both of them look unkempt and neither of them really speak in complete sentences. There's no subject-verb agreement. But one of them spreads joy and the other doesn't. Like, that's a simple fact. Like, we're going solely on vibes. Like even with Cookie Monster, like, my tax money would still be going toward some type of waste or wasteful spending, because if you've ever seen how he eats cookies, like, they pretty much go everywhere but inside of his mouth, you know. But if I had to go with a figurehead being controlled by a puppet master, I prefer the puppet master to be some delightful person that works at Children's Television Workshop and not Stephen Miller switching off with Peter Thiel. So.
Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, I would dare say the Cookie Monster is more delightful and more likely to put a complete sentence that makes sense together. All right, Kai, it's your turn. Which sign did you pick?
Well, I picked this lovely sign that says proud boyfriend of an ICE agent's wife. And I'll tell you, there's multiple reasons why I like this one. Because first of all, I had to think about it for a second. I was like, wait, what? He's dating an ICE agent? I'm like, oh no, he's fucking an ICE agent's wife. Which, you know, I really like that, because I think liberals have a bad PR campaign where Republicans always say, liberals, aren't you the party of peace and love? And, you know, we're not. I think that is a misnomer. I'm a cunt and proud. And I want people to know that if you do something horrible to this planet, some of us might fuck your husband and your wife. And you know what? Maybe your husband and your wife aren't complicit in your horrible decisions. Maybe they need somebody to sleep with because, you know, they're stuck listening to your BS all day. And I'm just glad that somebody in 2025 is getting laid, because some of us are too sad to do it.
Wow, that was incredibly powerful, Kiki. And I couldn't agree more. I think the whole thing about liberals are nice and it's all, you know, incense and peppermint. I was at the Hollywood Bowl a couple weeks ago to see Herbie Hancock, the great jazz artist, and he's a Buddhist. And at one point he said, "We have to love everybody," because he's a Buddhist. And the crowd went, "Mm-hmm." And then he went, and I mean people like Stephen Miller and Donald Trump, and the crowd, 18,000 people, complete silence. So Buddhism did not win the day on that one. There's a time and a place for loving everyone, and it's not fucking right now. And as far as having sex, I don't know how anyone can even get moist in this atmosphere. Thank you. That was beautiful. They were all incredible. I loved Kiki's and I loved Natalie's as well. But I have to say that the Mean Girl scenario really got me going. Now, which sign you all out there watching of all those did you like the best? This is how you can sign up to win the 1,000 clams that I talked about at the outset of the show. Go to WeThePeople.WTF and register with your email. And you'll get to vote on your favorite citizen protest sign. And that's going to enter you for the $1,000. Again, that's WeThePeople.WTF. Or you can always drop a comment below. Just to keep the conversation going, smash the subscribe button and follow at WeThePeople.WTF on all platforms. Do it right now. Follow our amazing comedians. And it was a real pleasure. It really was, you guys. Kiki Andersen, Natalie McGill, and Kelsey Sweeney, no relation. And if you live in Los Angeles, go check them out live. Thank you guys so much for watching We the People WTF. And until next time, remember, you can't spell democracy without mock. So it's your duty to clown the corrupt. My name's been Greg Proops. You know who you are. Stand by and stand to.